Welcome back again, Leo. It's May 2019, Dadhichi here with your update for the month. And the month is usually pretty good when you see the sun, in particular in your case being the ruler of your horoscope, up here in the 10th house, having just passed over that sudden but not altogether negative Uranus, which can bring with it some exciting new opportunities in your work. So I'm just wondering, have any of you had something break through for you in your work, some new opportunity, some elevation in your position? Because this is precisely what we wait for in life, the upper part of the horoscope being populated by really nice planets, as we see here. And so this should continue for the next 20 odd days, so make the most of it. This gives you a chance to renegotiate your position at work. And here we see your other really good planet, Mars, in the 11th house, although it's a little strung out there, being in opposition to Jupiter, bringing profits to you, additional income, and a great networking position to connect with people who can further your career and your ideals at this time. We just get a bit of motion going here on the chart. Nice opportunities again too with Moon, Venus, Mercury. Look at these planets moving up to this point in the heavens, which indicates more professional activities, although this one here is the principle based sign of your horoscope, the 9th house, which has to do with higher ideals and philosophical concepts. So along with this increased opportunity in work, we see here a very nice influence on your philosophical views on life. So maybe this is supporting this. And around the 5th of May, we see the new moon taking place here. So this is what I've talked about in the past to many of you watching, that when we see these repeated themes, that's when we can be more confident, even though we're talking for millions of people born under Leo, that this can herald the start of new and big things for you in your work and your career. This may simply be, for some of you, a matter of planning more effectively, really getting your head in gear as to what it is you want. And these transits are exceptionally good for that. 9th, 10th and 11th houses of your horoscope. So this is the start, pardon me, of a new chapter. This makes you a little fiery around the 7th. And by the way, some of these aspects are challenged, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We see here Saturn and Pluto in their retrograde movement, along with Jupiter now retrograde, causing you to rethink some of your working and philosophical ideals. Saturn is particularly strong here and has been here for a while. And this indicates your diligent, slow and methodical approach to the work that you're doing. It's also a position of greater responsibility. And you'll see that this may cause a little bit of tension as Moon moves into that opposite position. You see here, coming into conjunction with your North Node, which is really the pivotal part of your horoscope, indicating what's going on in terms of life decisions. Here we see the 12th house of self-expenditure, self-undoing, charity, in opposition to Saturn here. So it could be that you need to rethink how you are giving of yourself, how you are presenting yourself to others, the manner in which you are sharing your resources with others, because that may not be ideal right now. You may not be getting the best return on your investment. Notice here, again, that recurrent theme, this 10th house, with Mercury moving into this area and Venus shortly after. The 15th is important midway through the month, as Venus makes its presence felt there. And I don't want to focus exclusively on this being a work related issue, because Venus, as you know, is a very sociable, loving planet. It still does regulate your career sector, being the ruler of Venus, but communications are strongly impacted here, and Venus is the natural planet of love. So there could be a social connection between your work, love, romance, and sociability in this period that Venus is moving here in the upper part of your horoscope. That may also be further triggered by this extremely strong full moon that takes place in your 4th house. Now, during the 17th, 18th, 19th, there may be more of a domestic flavour to what you're doing. And this may require you to balance all of this stuff in your work against what you're doing in your home life. Speaking of love, when Venus moves into this position, the 5th house, a little bit of confusion with the square to Neptune, but certainly an opportunity for you to reach out, meet new people, and if you're already in a relationship, to strengthen the bonds of love with that particular person. We talked earlier about the position of Saturn here. Notice the movement of Moon to Saturn, indicating some concerns about your health, maybe some angst regarding the co-workers that you're with, maybe some of the health issues are directly proportionate to the amount of angst that you have at work. So it's important for you to resolve some of these issues as you near the end of the month. And there could be some compulsive sort of reactions here with the connection to Pluto in this area. We've talked about that Saturn-Pluto conjunction as well, which has been building. Now they're going into their retrograde motion. So as far as work matters are concerned, health matters are concerned, dealing with subordinates or people that serve you in some capacity, those retrograde planets are going to be very telling. You need to work through some of that stuff, Leo. Towards the end of the month, we see the connection to marital affairs, business partnerships, and that seems to be quite nice with the trine to Mercury and the Sun, which have moved into your 11th house around the 22nd, 23rd as well. So these are all coinciding. This is excellent for social connections and also increasing your payback. Your paycheck can increase at that time. You may have a little difficulty here. You must not come at any of your business requirements from an emotional perspective. You can see here Venus and Moon square in the career sector won't help you. It's best to retain that business acumen and strong communication style that that contact brings with it. 8th house, again with Neptune here, these are shared resources, indicating that you need to take a little bit of precautionary measures when you're dealing with money, especially if it's shared money, banking and loans, that type of thing. The end of the month finishes again with the Moon making its contact up around this top part of your horoscope, indicating some other interesting surprises for you in work. Join me next month, but in the meantime, don't forget to look at the additional information we have for you, Leo, on the month of May 2019 at astrology.com.au, my website. And you're welcome to drop me a line if there's anything bothering you. More than happy to do what I can to alleviate your concerns. Take care now. Bye-bye.